So here's a little video of a job that I did. It took me about 3 days to complete an interior repaint, ripping out all this wallpaper, and there was plaster walls behind it. Here I'm just tearing out the wallpaper. It was actually fairly easy to take off. It came off in big chunks like this for the most part. There was a little wood panel where the steps were, and this was more of a pain in the ass to take off. As you can see, it was your typical wallpaper removal. I just used water and let it soak and scrape it the best that I could, and then I sanded everything, just scuffed it a little bit. Once again, I was just using water, and as you can see, my little sprayer had a hole in it at the bottom, so it was leaking. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Here is a section where the plaster was actually coming off of the wall underneath a windowsill, and basically I'm just scraping all the old plaster off, and I primed it using PPG gripper. This is what everything looks like after all the wallpaper was removed, except for that little section right there. As you can see, it was a lot of wallpaper. I also primed the wood with PPG gripper. This is after I patched any cracks and holes in the plaster. I just used a 5-minute quick set, and here I'm just using a orbital sander to sand them down, get the patches smooth and even. Here I'm using a roller, 9-inch roller, to roll the joint compound onto the walls. I was just using an all-purpose green lid joint compound, thinned it down with a little bit of water and mixed it up. I use a 9-inch roller to apply the joint compound on the wall because it's a lot easier, a lot quicker, a lot faster than just using a trowel or a knife. And as you can see, I got my 12-inch taping knife in my back pocket, ready to skim these walls out after I apply the joint compound. Now I'm beginning the skim coating process. When skim coating, you want to make sure that you put the pressure on one side of the knife so you don't get any heavy lines, because then you'll have to sand them off or scrape them off. It's not too difficult to deal with, but why even deal with it if you don't have to? So this is what everything looks like after it was skim coated and it's drying. I also hit this small part of the ceiling going up the steps. That was not in the original estimate, but I did it for free just to help my customer out. Here I'm using Zinsser 123 primer. I'm just priming any light spots that I see because I only did one coat of drywall mud or joint compound on the walls, just because it really didn't need any more. This is what the first coat of paint looks like. Now for this job I only painted the walls. They didn't want the trim or the ceilings done. And this is what everything looks like with the second coat of paint. The customer was really happy and they loved it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe.